Welcome back to the show, everyone. United Laguna Woods Mutual is seeking 3 candidates for the next term. Here to tell us some more, everything that they're looking for, is Maggie Blackwell.
Right.
Hello, Maggie.
Hi, how are you?
You're going to tell us everything we need to know about United.
Everything you need to know. And
about
I want
who you're
to
looking
know
for.
everything about every candidate. And so that's why I'm here today.
Okay.
We want to know about the candidates. I mean, some of them are so secretive, they hardly fill in this. And then what is the voter going to vote on? What is anybody going to choose? I mean, some people have elaborate ideas of what they can do with the village, but they've never read anything about the village or United, and they don't know how we work. So it's best if they have been to some meetings. It's ideal if they have some club experience. It's wonderful if they have other experiences in the village. Some of them apply right away, and if they have had, the most important thing I think is to have had committee experience. Because,
within the village?
Well, committee
or
experience
just
anywhere.
Lifetime
of committee experience, because every action the board takes requires a majority vote of the board. Well, there are 11 of us, so you have to have 6 people decide in the same direction. And if you have never worked with a committee before, if you've always been top down with you at the top, you don't have to listen to anybody. Mm-hmm. You don't have to consider this side and this side. You just make your decision.
Right.
And the best members on United and any board are the ones who are willing to cooperate with the other board members. They talk to and fro so that all sides of an issue are covered. And they pay attention to all our regulations and so on. Many people somebody says, a neighbor says, oh, you're so smart, you should be on the board. Well, that might be true. That might be true. But find out a little bit about it. And then you have plenty of time before you sign up. Our signatures, our packages are due on the 24th. Mm-hmm. So that's very soon. But then the election isn't until October. So you have all this time to find out what you need to be a director on the board. But
Maggie, is there some you have a pamphlet here, is there some specific documentation that you would like your prospective board members to read?
Yes, absolutely. When you get the candidacy application, it's a 2 or 3 page document. I have one here. And they have specific questions. Those questions are really important. On this candidacy application, you should tell us everything relevant to United. Everything we ask has a purpose. We ask for your education. Some people never tell anyone their education. That's odd, but we have had people with magna education, and we have had high school graduates who have done a perfect job with United or with GRF because they are thinking and group thinking people. They've had life skills developed over their life, mm-hmm. and they can cooperate with each other. They can learn and listen. And so your people skills are crucial. If you have to be the one, you're going to be the only one, and the rest of us will be over here working and deciding things. You may say all you want, but if you cannot persuade people and deal with people so that they agree with your picture, mm-hmm. then it's going to be a rough road for everybody. But you can see the application. They do want to know your education. This page is crucial. We want to know your education. We will not hold anybody's education against them because They may have been truly successful without a big education. Not everyone can afford to go to college. Some people are moving around, some people are doing other things. It's your life experiences plus your education. So education is important. Some people do not fill out this page. They just say, see my attachment. And they have an attachment that's about half a page long that just tells the bare minimum. Well, you're going to be working with 11 people for 3 years, and people are supposed to vote for you, tell them as much as you are willing to tell them, and make it clear on this application. This application should be the basis of what your podium is for running. I have these experiences, I have this education, I have this business background. Some people have done the same thing all their life, so they only have one thing to do there, and hopefully it's relevant to their work in United, or they're just really smart and they can catch up, or they've been involved.
Maggie, what you're saying, at least as far as I understand, and will help our viewers understand as well, you would like this page filled out and not an addendum that basically says the same thing in a paragraph form. Because I would imagine that it's easier for you to go through line item, question by question, and really get a feel for the answer.
That's right. You can, most people do attach a page, an extra page, that says whatever they want. However, it's usually their 3-minute speech that they're going to give. And so they attach that page, which tells us in a nutshell what this page tells us. But this page, under education, you list everything, all the education you have that's relevant. Some people have pages of it, and they add it on at the end. A business background is very helpful, or just tell us whatever your background is. The companies and positions you have held with the dates. It's important. If you worked for IBM 25, 35, 45 years ago, it's not the same as working for IBM now, but it is important that you work for IBM. If you ran a grocery store and you have all these thoughts in your head about how to run a grocery store, you must be a very well organized person, and you must be a people person in order to have a successful grocery store. So give us your business background as complete as you can, then tell the companies and positions you have held, include the dates. And most people fill this out very completely, but others just skip this and they write a one little page thing, resume, and it doesn't tell us very much. So the more you put down here, the more we know. Okay, previous civic and social activities. This is where you get the committee experience, most people. And so if you're on a Boy Scout board or a school board or something like that, you've learned how to work with people. You've learned what the hardships are, what the difficult spots are, all those things. You're analytical. The better analytical you are, the better you are. But previous civic and social activities can really be a key for us to know. If you tell these in your speeches, people will know what your complete picture is. Otherwise, we just have something right here. We want the complete picture. And then the last section on this page says Laguna Woods Village activities and positions held. It makes a big difference if you have activities in the village, or if you just come there and you read a book all day and you go to lunch or you don't go to lunch. The more active you are, probably the more you understand the village, and the more social you are. Then it would be easier for you to be a director. But there are a lot of fine directors that are not active people, but they're analytical thinkers and they know how to work with the committee, and they're great directors. They know how to figure out things, and United has a lot of things to figure out. And then on the back of this page, it says, are you willing to serve on the United Board of Directors until the term expires? Unless, at this time in the October elections, it's a 3-year job. If we appoint you on the board, that's a different thing. That comes if somebody gets sick and has to quit the board. Then just the board chooses you. But this is the one for the full vote of the members. Now, the members want to know everything about you. And if you're shy in what you tell them, how can they compare you with Ted here, or Mary, or anyone? You need to give us the points of comparison, and you need to put them in your speeches and in your application here. It says, are you presently working? This is crucial. We have people who are working part-time, but part-time often is full-time. You know, you think it's part-time, and it is part-time ordinarily, but when you're a director, you have meetings at 9:30 in the morning and then 1:30 in the afternoon. Well, we can't then put you on a committee at 9:30 if you're working on part-time all day. And you will be on committees. You will be on several committees. And so we need your half days. And I say I work 6 to 9 half days a week because I go to a lot of meetings. And so there's one at 9:30 and one at 1:30 almost every day. Wow. Some of them are GRF, some of them are United. How long have you lived in Laguna Woods Village? You have to have lived here at least a year. Are you a resident owner? Yes. Do you meet these qualifications? And it says, annual occupancy in good standing, and have you paid up your dues? We hope you have. And if you haven't, then get them fixed up before you sign up. Do you meet these qualifications? Do you give staff permission to share your contact information with Laguna Woods Globe and other village clubs that wish to interview as a candidate? There are clubs that hold meetings for candidates to discuss things, and so they want to know a little bit about you so they can introduce you and you can tell them. But this is a crucial form. It is the same form for United, for Third, for GRF, and for VMS boards. So this is not just a throwaway form and I'll submit my own thing over here. This is the one we expect to have.
Okay, all right. So Maggie, you want the people to email those forms and the candidate statement to the Inspector of Elections?
Well, not yet. They have to turn them in to United.
Turn them in first.
Catherine Laster will take them upstairs.
Okay, so when is the deadline?
The deadline for your application, your complete application, is Friday, June 27th.
So Maggie, what happens if somebody's elected to a position and it's just not working out? The personality traits just aren't congruent with everybody else's? Is there a lot of tension? Is there internal conflict? What happens?
Sometimes there is a lot of tension. It's people who have not worked with committees that don't know you have to wait your turn to speak and so on. Then we can remove them from their committees, and that puts a heavier weight on everyone else. If they're really interrupting in meetings, we can have them not come to meetings. I mean, that's pretty bad. Most people get help. There's somebody on the board that will meet with them. I mean, most everybody, we're all friends on the United Board. And there are several people that will step forward to help somebody that is not working out well. Because we can't have shouting matches in the meeting. And we can't have people that refuse to do the work either. Right. So we are, right now, United is a very good cooperative board. We are supporting each other. we're informing each other. It's very good.
Wonderful, good to know. So talk to us about your deadlines for the application process.
Right. The deadline for your application, your complete application, is Friday, June 27th at 5 p.m. And so you can get it now, pick it up at the office, go down to the desk and they'll ask. Give it to Michaela. She's up on the second floor. And each candidate statement to the Inspector of Elections. You have to send your own candidate statement by email to the Inspector of Elections of what you put in the ballot. And it is crucial to put as much of this information in the ballot as you can, because the voter doesn't know you personally, they don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. And so just don't say, I plan on making United very successful. I'm going to cut all the fees by 50%.
It's just too bad.
Don't be way up here. Tell us what it is about you that we need to know. Mm-hmm. Because the ballot is only 250 words. You put your name on there, you put a couple of educational things, you put a couple of work things. You're running out of space, so be very frugal. But get this information that is on this first page on the ballot, because this is what the members need to know about you.
Maggie, have you ever considered taking video applications?
Not so far. We have every member, though, every candidate running will have an opportunity to make a video of their own where they speak to the camera and say all their qualifications and why they would be a good fit for United and why they want to serve. Mm-hmm. And then they have opportunities at the Meet the Candidates meeting to tell us the same thing, and then we ask them questions. And so if you apply for United, I send out all candidates a list of suggested readings, so that if we say the bylaws, you at least have seen them once. They're only 24 pages. You don't have to memorize them. And they'll tell you what the occupancy agreement, which is in your resume. I will send you out all the things you would be most comfortable knowing when you become a director. Otherwise, you have this training process for 3 to 6 months. Some people take almost a year to figure out what they're doing on the board. And that's time wasted, because we count on you to carry your share of the load. Mm-hmm. We have 11 of us, but usually somebody's sick and somebody's not, and somebody's out of town today in Hawaii or wherever. And so we count on every director to do their share.
Do you ever have a shortage of applicants? Or
Sometimes we just have enough. We checked with our attorney. We don't have to take an applicant if we think they will not fit. The attorney says we do not have to accept all applications, but we always have. And we always have put them on the ballot. But if there is some reason, the reason would be if you have a major felony in your recent life, we can't take you. And if you're in arrears in your payments, we can't take you. But otherwise, almost everyone is welcome who has lived here over a year. Sometimes a member of Third wants to run for United. They've lived in the village for a year, but they haven't lived in United. They have been an owner for a year, so they can actually run for United, and that has happened. But their whole interest and focus is in Third because that's where they live. And so people will think, well, you live in Third, why should we put you on United board? And there's a very good question there. So it's best, even if you own it in both, it's best if the one you live in is the one you run for. And so it's very interesting.
Yes, it sounds like it. After the applications are submitted, when is the actual election?
The election is in October, so you've got a lot of time. We used to have to deliver flyers by hand. I've done that 5 times. it's a bear to deliver to 6,323 units.
That's a
But
lot.
we don't have to do that anymore. You can get the email list and email them your flyer.
Yep.
So last time I ran, I was lazy and I emailed my flyers. And much easier on the knees.
You cover a lot more ground, a lot
Yeah.
faster.
Right. Particularly since the flyer delivery system is always in the hottest time of the year. It just happens to coincide with that. It's truly grueling work.
Yes.
So we will be emailing flyers out. And if a member doesn't want to receive those, they can just throw them away or check them
Unsubscribe.
off. But everybody that way gets a chance.
Sure.
And if we deliver them, everybody gets a chance to see you and meet you. So put everything you can in your flyer, everything that's relevant. We had one director for a couple of years. Every time he ran, he had 20 new changes he wanted for United. And then he'd give a different club or a different association a new list of 20 other things he wanted to do United. It was like he wanted to start with the whole clay right here in the lump and build us through 65 years of development. It just didn't work.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that sounds like something to tackle there, Maggie.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
all of this insight, and it's amazing that all of the amount of layers and work that these boards go through. So we really appreciate you just sort of opening this book and dialogue here and telling us
Right.
exactly what you need.
Right,
Appreciate
right.
that.
Okay.
Thank you
you
for
very
coming.
much.
You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.